streets each night, a 15% rise since 2022. Stories Homeless News is committed to sharing these stories to show the humanity behind the statistics and to demand change. What does it feel like to lose everything and still hold on to hope? Let's dive deeper into the lives of those who call the streets their home. 2. The root causes of Texas's homelessness crisis. How does someone end up on the streets, surrounded by chaos and despair? The homelessness crisis in Texas is fueled by a perfect storm of economic, social, and personal factors that push people to the brink. Economically, the cost of living has soared. Average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Austin now sits at $1,800 a month, a 30% increase since 2015, according to Zillow. Yet the minimum wage remains stagnant at $7.25 an hour, unchanged for over a decade. For someone earning minimum wage, that's over 60% of their income just to cover rent, leaving little for food or emergencies. Social challenges deepen the struggle. Access to mental health care in Texas is severely limited. Only 35% of those in need can access services, per the Texas Health and Human Services Commission. Substance dependency is another barrier, with limited recovery programs available. On a personal level, life events like job loss or domestic issues can spiral into homelessness in an instant. Over 40% of homeless individuals in Texas cite unaffordable housing as the primary reason for their situation, according to a 24 Texas Homeless Network survey. These aren't just statistics, their lives unraveling under unbearable pressure. The emotional weight of these causes is crushing. We met Maria, a 28-year-old in Dallas, who shared her story with tears in her eyes. I was working 2 jobs, but it wasn't enough, she said. One day I couldn't pay rent, and that was it. I was out here. Now I'm saving every penny for a bus ticket to see my family. They're all I have left to fight for. Maria's determination to reunite with her loved ones is a testament to the human spirit, a story that Stories Homeless News is honored to share. Subscribe to follow her journey as she fights for a brighter future. If you're moved by these stories, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to support our mission of amplifying these voices. Three, the overwhelming challenges of the homelessness crisis. The homelessness crisis in Texas isn't just a statistic. It's a daily battle filled with challenges that test the limits of human endurance. For those on the streets, the lack of basic necessities like food, hygiene, and shelter creates a constant struggle. In Houston, 1 in 5 homeless individuals has been on the streets for over a year, per HUD data, facing relentless exposure to the elements with no safe place to rest. The emotional toll is immense. Imagine the fear of never knowing where your next meal will come from, or the shame of having no privacy, forced to live in the open for all to see. The chaos of street life compounds these challenges. Public intimacy and substance use are rampant, driven by desperation and a lack of alternatives. In Dallas, reports of such behaviors have risen by 20% in the past 2 years, according to local outreach groups. These acts aren't choices, they're survival mechanisms in an environment where hope feels out of reach. The lack of sanitation facilities, many go weeks without a shower, their dignity stripped away with each passing day. It's like living in a nightmare you can't wake up from. A homeless man in Austin told Stories Homeless News, his voice heavy with exhaustion. The emotional scars run deep. We spoke with James, a 45-year-old veteran in Houston, who's been homeless for 2 years. I served my country, but now I'm out here forgotten, he said, his eyes welling up. I've seen people lose themselves to drugs, to despair, but I'm still fighting for a second chance. James recently enrolled in a job training program, a small step toward rebuilding his life. His resilience is why Stories Homeless News keeps sharing these stories to show that hope can still exist. What do you think it would take to give someone like James the support he needs? Let us know in the comments and hit that subscribe button to follow his journey with us. For the devastating role of substance use. Substance use has become a heartbreaking hallmark of the homelessness crisis in Texas, a coping mechanism for many facing unbearable hardship. In 2024, the Texas Department of State Health Services reported that 38% of homeless individuals in the state struggle with substance dependency, with opioids and methamphetamine being the most common. On the streets, these substances are often used openly, a desperate attempt to numb the pain of hunger, cold, and hopelessness. The sight of individuals using in broad daylight is a stark reminder of how deep this crisis runs. The emotional toll is gut-wrenching. We met Lisa, a 40-year-old in Houston, who shared her struggle with tears streaming down her face. I started using to forget the pain, she said softly. Out here, it's everywhere. You can't escape it. But I've been clean for 2 months now, thanks to a program that believed in me. I'm fighting for my future. Lisa's journey from dependency to recovery is a powerful reminder of the resilience within these communities, a story that Stories Homeless News is proud to share. Her determination to reclaim her life moved us deeply. What do you think it takes to overcome such challenges? The cycle of substance use traps so many in a loop of despair, making it harder to find stability. Without access to recovery programs, many feel they have no way out. In Texas, only 1 in 5 homeless individuals with substance dependency can access treatment per state data. This lack of support leaves them vulnerable, their dreams overshadowed by the need to survive another day. Stories Homeless News is here to highlight these struggles, to show the humanity behind the statistics, and to call for more resources to help those like Lisa rebuild their lives. 5. The hidden pain of exploitation and public intimacy. One of the most distressing aspects of homelessness in Texas is the prevalence of exploitation through public intimacy, often linked to survival. Many individuals, particularly women, find themselves in vulnerable situations where they feel forced to trade their bodies for basic needs like food, shelter, or substances. A 2024 study by the Texas Homeless Network found that 25% of homeless women in the state have experienced some form of exploitation, a statistic that breaks our hearts. On the streets, intimate acts in public spaces have become a grim reality, a sign of how desperate survival has become. The emotional impact is devastating. We spoke with Emily, a 29-year-old in Austin, who shared her story with a trembling voice. I never thought I'd be in this position, she said, looking down at her worn shoes.
God bless you.
I've done things I'm not proud of just to eat, just to feel safe for a night. But last week a shelter took me in, and I'm starting to believe I can have a different life. Emily's courage to share her story and her hope for a better future is why Stories Homeless News keeps telling these stories, to show that change is possible even in the darkest moments.
No worries, man. So
This exploitation strips away dignity, leaving individuals feeling trapped and dehumanized. The lack of safe spaces forces many into these situations with nowhere else to turn. In Dallas, reports of public intimacy have risen by 20% in the past 2 years, according to local outreach groups. It's a cycle that perpetuates vulnerability, making it harder for people to break free. Stories Homeless News believes that by raising awareness, we can push for more shelters and support systems to protect those like Emily. What can we do to ensure no one has to make these impossible choices? Six, the ripple effects on communities. The homelessness crisis in Texas doesn't just affect those on the streets, it sends shockwaves through entire communities. For homeless individuals, the daily struggle erodes their physical and mental well-being. Without access to basic hygiene or health care, they face constant challenges, their health deteriorating with each passing day. The emotional toll is immense. Many live in fear, vulnerable to theft or exploitation, with no safe place to call their own. Communities feel the impact too. In areas with large homeless populations, residents often feel uneasy and local businesses struggle to attract customers. In Houston, downtown businesses have reported a 15% drop in foot traffic over the past 3 years. According to the Houston Downtown Management District, as encampments become more visible. Tourism, a key economic driver in Texas, is also suffering. Visitors are hesitant to explore cities where the crisis is so apparent. The financial burden is heavy. Cities spend millions annually on emergency services and cleanup, funds that could be better used to address the root causes. The emotional weight on communities is palpable. Families walking through downtown Austin often shield their children's eyes from the harsh realities on the streets, unsure how to explain the suffering they see.